I just spent 3 hours watching something for Disney investors. And, how should I put this? It was Disney magic. Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome to a very special video where I'm going to give my thoughts and reactions to most of the news that broke at Disney's Investor Day, kind of in the similar vein of what I did with DC fandom. So with that being said, let's hop right into it, with the first thing being the new upcoming Alien television series. Now, as you may or may not know, the first Alien film directed by Ridley Scott is actually my favorite horror film of all time. So when I hear they're doing a show on Alien, it gets me very excited. And then I hear that Noah Holloway, I don't know how to say his last name, I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, but he's attached to it and he's responsible for shows like Fargo and Legion, which are both FX shows, which is where this Alien series is going to go. But while I haven't seen either of those shows, I hear they're fairly good, so it's nice hearing that he's going to be a part of this because he's responsible for two very good shows. And then of course we have Ridley Scott, who's going to be the executive producer on this show, so I'm very excited for this series. It was definitely a very unexpected announcement because the previous Alien movies, especially financially, their performance financially has just been getting worse and worse. And while I did enjoy the last Alien movie, Alien Covenant, again, financially it just hasn't been doing so hot, to the point where the future of the Alien IP has been questionable. So hearing this gets me very excited, and let's move on to the next announcement, or should I say announcements, about all of the next Star Wars films and television shows coming to Disney Plus in the next few years. Now I'm going to quickly run through these announcements here, and the first announcement being a new Ahsoka show coming to Disney Plus, and spoilers for Mandalorian Season 2, by the way, if you have not seen it. But the way we left Ahsoka in Mandalorian, I could only imagine that one of the main focuses of the show is going to be Ahsoka hunting down Grand Admiral Thrawn, which could certainly be entertaining and, should I say, nerd chilling. Next we have the Rangers of the New Republic, which we don't know a whole lot about, so it is hard to get excited about it, but we do know that it will be set in the same timeline as The Mandalorian, and we could potentially have a little crossover there between the two shows, so we'll definitely have to be on the lookout for that. And next up we have the ObiWan series, and we already knew it was coming. We already knew the show was coming, but we didn't know Hayden Christensen was going to be in the Obi-Wan series, reprising his role as Anakin Skywalker, which, can I say, it is a very nerd-chilling announcement. But, I mean, all I could kind of think of is that he's probably going to show up mainly in flashbacks in the Obi-Wan series. That's kind of all I can really think of right now, unless he knows how to do a really good Darth Vader voice, and maybe he can provide the voice of Vader, I don't know. But it definitely is good having my boy Hayden back as Anakin Skywalker. Now after that we have the Acolyte, which is going to be coming from the creator of Russian Doll, Leslie Headland, and it's going to be around the time of the final days of the High Republic era, and it's going to be mainly centered on the dark side, and that already has me interested there. And while I don't know a whole lot about the High Republic era, I hear Russian Doll is a very good show, so at least it seems like the Acolyte is going to be in very good hands. So let's move on to the next show in Lando, which is coming from Justin Simeon, who wrote, directed, and produced the movie Dear White People, which looks like a movie that a lot of people enjoyed. So by the looks of it, it seems like Kathleen Kennedy, even though people still really criticize her to this day, but it looks like Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm are selecting some good people here to handle these Star Wars shows coming to Disney Plus. So now let's go into the film realm, and they did mention a little bit about Taika Waititi's film. They didn't really say a whole lot, they just kind of briefly mentioned it and passed by it, but they did talk about what the next Star Wars movie will be, and that is a Star Wars film directed by Patty Jenkins, which is going to be called Rogue Squadron. And while we didn't really learn anything about this movie, there was a video posted basically announcing that Patty Jenkins is directing this movie, and in that video she talked about how her dad was a fighter pilot and how he died as a fighter pilot, and ever since then she's always made her objective to kind of make a great fighter pilot movie. So she definitely has that emotional attachment to this project, and I definitely have trust in her to make an amazing movie here, because she's proven from her previous work like Wonder Woman that she can definitely do some good stuff. Now that rounds out the Star Wars news, at least that stood out to me, and with that being said, let's move on to Pixar and Disney Animation. So first, Disney Animation announced a bunch of Disney shows that's going to Disney Plus, like Baymax, which looks like it could be really fun and cute, and then we also have the Moana show, which is one that definitely has potential, and if The Rock comes back, that would be very exciting. And then we also have a Zootopia show going to Disney Plus, which is mainly going to feature a bunch of the secondary characters from Zootopia, well, secondary characters if you even want to call them that, and that one was probably had me the least interested out of all the ones that were announced. And then there's also a Princess and the Frog show coming to Disney Plus, and I can't really say anything there because I have never seen Princess and the Frog. But they also announced that their upcoming Disney animation film, Raya and the Last Dragon, will come out on Disney Plus with premiere access on the as well as in theaters on the same day. And I believe that's the only movie that they announced that's coming out on Disney Plus as well as in theaters on the same day. So I think they're kind of using Raya and the Last Dragon as kind of a test monkey to kind of see how this whole release thing of putting a movie in theaters and as well as on their streaming service on the same day, and kind of seeing how that's going to work out. And I have no problem with that. As you guys most likely know, I'm all for movie theaters. I champion movie theaters in most cases. I know I'm a Christopher Nolan 2.0 over here. And Disney Animation also announced a new upcoming movie called Encanto with Lin-Manuel Miranda, who's attached to the project, and it's going to take place in Colombia. And I gotta tell you, just by them talking about it, I actually got really excited for it, just with the feel of it. So I'm definitely amped up on seeing this upcoming Disney Animation movie. Now, there were some Pixar announcements, and they announced 2 of their untitled Pixar movies coming up, with the first one being Turning Red, which is basically if the Hulk was in a coming-of-age story, and I'm a sucker for coming-of-age stories, so I'm in for this one. I'm definitely signed up for it. And they also announced a Lightyear movie, which at first, you kind of think, oh, they're doing a Buzz Lightyear spin-off movie here, but no, this one's going to follow the character which Buzz Lightyear was inspired from, and this time around, Chris Evans is going to voice Lightyear here, which I was a little bit surprised by. I would have thought Tim Allen would have come back and done the voice for Lightyear here, even though it's not the same Buzz Lightyear that we all know and love from the Toy Story franchise, but I do think this movie could potentially be really fun, and overall, I really dug the announcements by both Pixar and Disney Animation. But they saved the best for last with Marvel, and I was shocked by the amount of news and trailers and footage that they showed us here. And to be honest, I was actually shocked by the amount of news that came out of this thing in its entirety. I mean, they were dropping big announcements like nothing. I mean, news was coming out of here like gangbusters. It was insane. But starting off with the Marvel announcements, they did announce that Black Panther / T'Challa will not be recast, and I have no problem with that at all. I'm totally cool with that decision, and people have been talking about how Shuri will most likely be the next Black Panther, and right now where her character is at, I can't really see her character as the next Black Panther, but maybe I'll watch Black Panther 2 and I'll be like, that was actually the right decision. They did a good job on that. But let's move on to the next Marvel announcement, and that is Christian Bale, who is already pretty much confirmed to be in Thor: Love and Thunder, but today they made it official. Marvel made it official that Christian Bale will be in Thor: Love and Thunder, and I couldn't be happier about this because Bale is one of my favorite actors working today, and he will play the villain of Gore in Thor: Love and Thunder. I repeat, Christian Bale will be in Thor: Love and Thunder. But not only did Marvel come with the awesome announcements, but they also had the awesome trailers with WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, and even What If. And I totally wasn't expecting to see all of these trailers from these shows, especially Loki and What If, and not only that, but they all felt very different from what we've seen from the MCU, and I'm definitely looking forward to all of these shows. I'm telling you, all of these trailers were very good. They did a great job with that, and that's kind of it. I mean, that's kind of all the announcements that they had. The trailers, of course, Christian Bale, they talked about this Black Panther 2, and yeah, pretty sure that's it. Oh my goodness, I totally forgot. Apparently, I don't know if you guys heard, but there's a Fantastic Four movie coming. That's right. They made it official. Fantastic Four is coming in the MCU. Movie Fantastic Four is coming. Oh yeah, get excited, ladies and gentlemen. When is it coming? We don't really know yet. It will be directed by John Watts, who directed the previous Spider-Man films, and I thought he did a very good job with those movies. I personally really enjoyed them, but we are getting Fantastic Four, and that kind of capped off this insane event, and I mean, full of exciting stuff. And I woke up today not even knowing that this was happening today, and then I was like, oh, apparently there's this Disney investors thing. There might be some really cool news coming out of this. I guess I'll give it a watch. And 3 hours later, I was a different person, and I just think Disney hit a grand slam with this thing. I'm telling you, this was D23 for everyone. I know we didn't get to see the ObiWan footage and all of that, but we definitely got more, at least than what I was expecting. I mean, they went gangbusters with this thing. But with that being said, tell me down in the comment section below of what you think of this Disney investors thing that they did today, because boy was it wild. And don't forget, you can follow me at the Kid Critic on Instagram or at Kid Critic on Letterboxd, and don't forget to like and subscribe because that is very important. And as always in every single video, look out for the next video or review, and peace.